All right, it looks like we have a quorum present, so we can proceed. Yay. As a procedure for us, when we need to vote on something like the minutes, I will ask, for those who approve them to reply voice aye, then I will ask for a nay if someone disagrees. And if I don't hear any nays, then it passes if I hear ayes. If there are nays, we'll do a roll call of each member in our meeting. Any questions on that? No questions?
I have, if you want to just back up a sec for a minute, why couldn't I get in?
I don't know.
What was the problem with the
two different numbers, I think.
Okay. Because it said, I just didn't want this to happen again because it said on my screen, waiting for host to start the meeting.
Same here.
It's a different ID number.
Okay. So we just got to make sure we have, going forward, we're on the same sheet of music.
So this is Lori. It was probably user error on staff's end. I definitely apologize for that. We will ensure that this doesn't happen again for your future meeting. So sorry that you guys had all that trouble, but we'll make sure it doesn't happen again going forward.
No problem.
Okay, but we're all in and we're ready to go.
Lori, I can't see you.
I'm not actually part of your meeting, so I'm going to stay off.
All right.
All right. We need to approve the minutes of March, and I'm sure you've all reviewed them. So I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Aye.
Aye.
And a second.
Uh-oh.
I'll second it. This Peter.
Okay, Peter seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed?
Aye.
All opposed? All opposed, say nay. Then by the powers invested in me, I declare the meeting minutes valid, and we'll get them to Lori so she can post them. That's great. Super. All right, let's go into old business.
Tom, this is Teresa.
Yes, ma'am.
If you'll go just a little bit slower so I have time to share my screen and everyone can follow what you're talking about.
Okay, I will most certainly go slower. We are going into old business, and we're gonna talk about the status of the Queen City Honor Flight. And I'm turning to Peter to tell us what does he know.
As of right now, I haven't heard anything since the last communication, which I guess was maybe early April. The same thing that I told you at the last meeting, that the next, when they establish when and where and how and all those things, that they will reach back out to us and we will stay on that list. So, but I would think with, the age of a lot of the veterans and those type of circumstances, that I don't know if they would make that thing happen this year.
Oh, okay, let me jump in for a sec.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I went on the website and the flight, in fact, was canceled.
Yes.
So if you go to Honor Flight, Charlotte Honor Flight, it says it's canceled. And same thing that you were saying, Peter, that's it. They don't know when it will start or whatever, but we know it's canceled for May. And they're not going to start anything up until they know that everybody can fly, that it can be done safely. So I guess we're just on eternal hold here.
Yeah, I would assume it's going to be a while.
Oh yeah, I'm guessing same.
Okay.
So, Lori, I have a question. I have a question, Tom. Tom, for Lori, sure. I have a question. May I go? Hello?
Yes, you may.
Okay, thank you. All right, so the $900 we've committed and assigned that to this year's flight. It's not going to happen. Will that carry over into next year?
Yes, it will.
Oh, yes, wonderful. Okay.
Yep.
Excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Did we already write that check?
Yes,
Has that check been
Yes.
cashed?
I'm sure. Jack will know that.
No, I have to ask the finance department.
I'm
Okay.
assuming if they already cashed it, then we're just on hold until the next flight, because,
We sent the check at least 2 months ago.
Right, so Lori, can you ask if that check's been cashed?
or Teresa?
Or Teresa?
Sure, I'll be happy to.
Okay, great, thank you.
Okay. So the honor flight is basically has been canceled. Is really on hold until we think until he thinks it can be done safely. And we paid our contributions. So whenever it can be done safely, our people will go.
Right, exactly.
Okay. All right. Now, the second thing is an old business is the trifles assignment that I gave you all in March. We have two trifolds, one that says what MVAC does, and the other is the one for 10 reasons to hire a veteran. And the assignment was, do we need to make any changes to those? And so, what say you?
I didn't see anything that
Before we-
needed to change.
I was just going to ask, do we know, in the middle page, are there reoccurring local events? Have any of those changed that we know of? Does
They're
the American
reoccurring,
Legion
like-
still meet at the Matthews Women's Club?
I'm not sure where the American Legion meets because I'm not a member. I
No,
they
don't know.
They do not meet there. That's incorrect.
Okay, so we need to change that. And the only other thing is on the back page where local supporters, have any of those gone out of business?
Don't know that.
I don't know. So that was my only, and what do you have to do to be a local supporter? Anything?
We paid money at
I
the
think-
beginning to help fund it.
Okay. That's good enough for
Because
me.
I'm on there, and at the beginning, I gave a donation to help fund that first print.
Okay, well, that's good. And so the only question I then is, any of these people gone? Is the Black
Right.
Chicken still open?
Yeah. Yeah, they just remodeled.
Okay. Then I guess if they're still good, then we're still good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't Temple Mojo going to change their name? Didn't they combine with someone?
Yes, they did.
Yeah. Yeah, they're the Carolina Temple Mojo. It's the Carolina, I mean, it's still part of it's still the same owner, but it's the Carolina Beer Temple and Temple Mojo became Carolina Temple Mojo.
Okay.
But they're still the same owner. It's still owned by the same people that own Seaboard.
I don't. Based on that, I don't see any reason to make any changes.
Well, we got to change the meeting place for the Legion. I mean,
Well-
if people looking to join the Legion, let's take a look
Or
at.
do we?
Let's look at it more closely and see if there's any other changes that would justify the expense. You're right. Just the one change, maybe not, but I don't know how many others there may be.
All right, the American Legion.
Can you
And we
hear
should
me?
follow with Larry's suggestion, just to make sure all those other people are still in business.
Okay, so why don't for the next meeting, I mean, this is still good for now, but I'll run down this whole list of local supporters to make sure they're all still viable.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
And then if somebody could find out where the American Legion post meets,
The American Legion post meets at the Masonic Lodge.
okay, so we'll make, and so by next meeting, we'll have at least one change, and we'll see if it's, I hate to put anything out that's incorrect, because if someone says, hey, I'm going to go to the American Legion post meeting, and they go to the wrong place, that's no good.
No, you're right, because it has a,
This
it
is
has a
Jim.
date.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Jim.
It has a date and
The
time.
American Legion meets at the Masonic Temple.
Okay. Go ahead, Jack.
No, the same. Yeah, right. It has a date. It has a date meaning the third Thursday of the month, I believe it is, and
Right.
it has the address, which is incorrect. So we have to correct the address because the date and time is correct. So absolutely correct. If somebody looked at that and wound up at the lady's place and nobody's there, they're going to get upset.
Yeah.
That's true.
So we'll mark that down. I'll go through these local supporters just to make sure there's still, work. I know, they may be shut down for the COVID, but as long as they're still there, we're going to keep it. I know I'll just go down that list. And
Good.
then for next meeting, I'll let you know which of those have to be either canceled or the name change, like that Mojo thing.
Mhm.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
I got it.
All right. Very good. Anything on the 10 reasons to hire a veteran?
I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Moving beyond that, Jack, how about a treasurer's report?
Okay, I think, did everybody get a copy of this in email today?
No.
Okay, all right, I'll go through it. All right. The budget for 2020. So we had, from the town, they gave us $2,500, which is similar to what they did the past couple of years. We had carryover donations of $1,956, total $4,456. That's what we had available to spend this current fiscal year. We paid $900 for the Army for the honor flight. Peter bought another Army flag that we needed for the total series for $38, and we gave the Legion $100 for the Veterans Breakfast, $1,038.
Nice.
Planned spending for the rest of the year: the service flag project, flags $965, brackets and poles for the flags $2,685. Mark Tofano indicated he would donate $765 to cover the cost between flags made in America versus not made in America. Total $2,885. So the remaining funding is remaining funds is $533 for now to June 30th. Which could go for, Larry, it could go for revising the trifold. So we need to do that really quick if we want to get it into this fiscal year.
Okay.
And I think the trifolds in the past have cost us $200, $250, $300, something like that when we buy 1,000.
Yeah, there's enough funds here to take care of that. And I need to confirm these numbers with the town's finance manager, just to make sure we're on the same page, but I think we are.
Okay, very good.
My thing.
Say again. Hello?
All right, who's up next?
I thought someone was trying to say something. Okay.
It was a stray cat.
A stray cat. Okay, that's all right.
I don't know.
As long as a stray cat gets the mouse. Okay, new business. We've done the treasurer's report, the quarterly report for the town. I sent you copies. And we are getting on the list to do this presentation to the town board and the mayor the day after Memorial Day, the 26th. I think Lori's setting that up for us. Now, in looking at that progress report, that quarterly report, do you see anything that needs to be changed or added?
I'm good.
I can hold on if you guys need me to.
Any other comments on that?
No, I think it's done.
Yeah, I'm
Very
with it.
well. Let's move on.
Yep.
The next one is the service flag project. Basically, I had personally sent a heads up copy to the mayor last month on a one-to-one basis, just to ask for his informal input. I know him well, and I just did it, even though it's not totally legal. He seemed to like it and want to know if we were planning on buying flags made in the U.S. And I said, "Yep, that's my understanding." Now we've talked through this project for the first 3 months of this calendar year, and so the presentation we've got here, and it's right now what we will give to the town on the 26th, is that we're a veteran-friendly town, and the mayor and the board needs to approve the project. And it's what Peter was saying. We're going to have Trade Street, East Matthews to the fire station. This year, there will be new light poles erected in August, and then we will have the fixtures put on. So the flags will be ready to fly for the Veterans Day week and then Memorial Day week. Jack talked about the cost. We got a couple pictures that Peter put together in the presentation to show them. And the cost from our current budget, $2,700 roughly for the fixtures and the poles, and about $200 for the flags because of the generous offer from Mark Tofano to fund over $700 worth of flags. And Jack just talked about the budget. For the next fiscal year, we would propose 3 sets, and Peter had said we get 3 sets, we can go from John Street down to the fire station. And so that's going to be part of our budget. So that's where we are with that. Peter, do you have any comment? Peter?
He's on mute, Tom. He's getting on.
Sorry, I had to unmute. No, I don't have any.
Okay, that's good.
This
All
is
right,
Jack.
so, yeah,
I
go.
think I will confirm with Mark that his donation still stands.
Okay, go ahead and do that.
Thank you.
Tom, this is Teresa. I spoke with our Assistant Public Works Director. He confirmed that they're not actually changing out the poles. So that is put to bed. They're only changing out the actual light fixture on the top.
Good.
Right? That's right. How'd you know all that?
So for the
Hi, Fred.
flag project,
Not yet.
I just run out of ink. Hang on a second.
Put that on.
For the flag project,
Funny thing, you never figure a bank clerk to be that good a shot.
the light poles,
All right. You'll be safe here until I bring the horse.
lights, the light poles themselves are not being replaced.
Like I said, my arm's healing slow. I don't want to move on.
That's correct.
Too long. Somebody
Pole-
passed by and spot you.
It's just the fixture on the top of the pole.
I'm not planning to bring
Okay.
anybody in yet. Good. I figure in a day or two I'll be able to travel.
But if we buy the fixtures this year, this fiscal year, they'll be available to put on the poles at Public Works Convenience sometime this summer. Which is what we had talked about in the past, I believe. Any comment?
Tom, excuse me, this is Lori. I just want to bring to your attention that Fred has entered the meeting. Please include him in any votes that you take from now going forward.
Fred.
Hello.
Fred Baylor. Ah.
Sure you never saw him. Thank
Number one. Okay, good.
I didn't think so when I first saw him. I get the feeling I have.
Good to have you with us.
There's something on in the background. Can you? Interference is coming through into the meeting.
The Hannah's on the morning stage that I went and
Okay. So I think we're okay for the flags. We know how they're going to be funded for this fiscal year, and we're gonna talk about in the budget in a little bit for the second set. So I think we're in good shape there. I think that'll be great, and we will deliver that presentation to the town board in about 2-3 weeks. Any other comments on that particular project?
Yes, I
There
think,
being none,
I have a comment. I have a comment. I think when it's all said and done and it's completed, it's going to be a great thing for the town of Matthews.
I think it will be also. I agree with you. Have we had a dog enter the meeting?
I muted him.
All right. You muted him. Okay, good. All right, let's move on. Veteran of the Year. And James Munoz, are you with us?
I don't have any updates with, sorry, I was muted by the host. No, I have no updates with it, and I really haven't given it any thought, given everything that's going on. So I'll try to sit down and put together some kind of plan.
Okay. We had talked, I think, in March or February, that if we could get next to Maureen and have her start pursuing it through the Matthews Mid-Hill Weekly, that would certainly help. So you may want to contact her when you get a chance. We've got time. I mean, there's no rush. There's no major rush right now because the thing is not awarded until November, so we've got 6 months. But she could be a good resource for us, pursuing it through the Matthews Mid-Hill Weekly. And I think when we talked last month, we had the mayor pro tem with us, and she has the Beacon. And I thought maybe we had said that she might be a support for us also from the Beacon, if I remember correctly. So those are resources we can use, and we have time to get that, to make that happen. Any comments on Veteran of the Year?
Well, I got something to go along with that. How many openings do we have on the board, on the committee?
We have 13 positions. We have 10 right now.
Okay, so
we have and we have Doug Rhodes, who's put in his application.
All right. So what I'm thinking is, as we as we market or advertise, or whatever you want to call it, recruit Veteran of the Year in these various, papers, whatever, what's to stop us from recruiting or asking for new members for the committee? More like younger members, like Gulf War, those kind of young veterans that could add to our committee. Can we do both at the same time?
Lori, I think, has put out publicly the need for that we have several spots open. Is that so, Lori?
That's true. I will say that when we advertise for members, it is a pretty basic item, and it just says that, MBAC is looking for members. If you guys wanted to have a more directed advertisement specifically for certain demographics, I highly recommend that. You can do that on your own. That's fine with this ad if you want. Teresa can help direct anything that would go through our normal advertising process for advisory committee members if you do want to target some certain demographics. So we can talk about that on the town advertising ends, but I don't see any problem with you guys separately adding that to your information that you're sending elsewhere.
Okay, so we need to talk about that.
The only thing I think the only thing we have to be careful of is that since we're part of the town, if we're going out public, we have to basically have town approval.
You do, that's correct.
And so, I would think there would be no issue if we via Teresa had information sent to the Matthews Mid-Hill Weekly or to the Beacon saying that a little bit about what we do and that we have several openings for potential new members. I think that would be viable.
I would just
legal.
caution you about the cost associated. If the weekly, for example, will do it for free, I think that's great. If there's a cost associated with that, from what I heard earlier, I don't know that your budget would be able to accommodate that. So keep that in mind.
Gotcha. I think we can do those for free, but we'll have to see.
All right, so let me input something here. Once a month, the Legion gets a half a page in the Matthews Mint-Hill Weekly, and they don't advertise, but they talk about different happenings in the upcoming month and what's happened in the past as far as peace treaties and all different things about military. So I wonder if we can't talk to the Legion and ask them to put a little blurb in their free.
He's always been this way.
And put it in their paper, in their half a page that the town is looking for some members. So Tom, maybe you and I can talk to Mark about that.
Okay.
You guys, this is Teresa. I would make sure you go through Maureen, because she has to approve everything since this is the town committee. She's got everything. So just make sure you talk with her. She'll have no problem with it.
Okay.
All right. Very good. So ask Maureen.
You can give some direction.
Okay.
Yeah.
You and I can do that, Jack.
Okay.
Also, Desert
Okay.
Storm veterans are not young veterans.
Say what, Peter?
You said Desert Storm type veterans. They're not exactly young.
Well, they're younger than 75 years old, like me.
I was in 15 in Desert Storm.
You know we're getting at, Peter. Come on.
Sir, I know. I'm just giving you a hard time.
Okay. All right, let's move on. Flying colors for a day. Charlene has been leading this and has gotten us 2 sets of colors from Woodman of the World. And so we've got them. And we were talking about in our minutes that we ought to go to the town and say, hey, we want to do this. What I would like is if we could get a little presentation maybe for a June town meeting. We can go back to see them again. And Charlene, if you could pick 2 days in the year that we could fly the colors and we could come up with a short presentation about proposing this date for the veteran and another date for the honor flight person, and explain to them what needs to be done and gain their approval. I think that would work. But I think we need to come up with a couple of dates and a little blurb to give them on it. And Charlene, can you work through that, please?
Yeah, I think it would just need to be that you propose, like the honor flight, it's going to be, we're not going to fly it till that person's actually gotten to do it. So it's going to be the, I would say the month after whoever flies, whenever they fly, then the month after. And I would say probably, the end of November to present the flag, or whenever you're doing the flag for the Veteran of the Year, whenever you're going to be presenting that to them, I would say right around that same time as when you fly the flag. If you fly it that same day of the town council meeting, it's really easy to take it down, walk it into the meeting, and present it at the same time you're presenting everything else.
Write that up and send it to me, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure.
And everybody else, that all makes sense, right?
But it's fun.
Yes, it does for me.
Good.
Okay.
And y'all can see.
Okay. Then let's go to, let's look at the plan for the new year, and I sent that out to you all a few days ago. Proposed plan for the new year, and this would be something that we would probably present to the town in June. And basically, a lot of it is what we have done in the past. Serving in an advisory capacity, which is our major role, but lead the Veteran of the Year program, fund the honor flight for one Matthews veteran resident, fly the military service flags the week of the 2 national holidays. We just talked through that. Fund service flags and fixtures from John Street to the fire station. And then flying the U.S. colors for those two veterans on one day. Keep our display cases filled. Support Memorial Day and Veterans Day events by the American Legion. And then if we need to, reprint either or both of the trifolds. So that's kind of the vision of next year. Is there any comment on that? Are we going astray anywhere, or is it about right?
No, I think with all that's happened the past couple of months, and all the delays and stuff, I think that's a good plan to go forward with, to keep things straight and what we've thought about in the past. So yeah, I like that plan.
All right. Then that's the direction we will go now. Jack included a budget, a rough budget page for the coming year. And what we did was we put down the honor flight. And this was done several weeks ago. The honor flight, the plaque for the Veteran of the Year, the mayor's medal presentation, the case, and all of that. donation for the American Legion breakfast, and then the service flag, the 3 sets going to the fire station from John Street. That includes all playing for all the flags and the fixtures. That turns out to be about $3,400 or $3,500 at this point.
Right,
Again, this is rough.
The yellow highlights are what we had, and we took them out of the proposed budget. They're still sitting there, but they're not part of the budget.
Right. Well, this is a rough, but does anyone see any issues with this?
No.
No.
I'm okay with it.
Now,
Good.
Teresa went to Hazen and asked about money for the new year. And she forwarded me the email from the town manager on a proposed budget for next fiscal year 2021, starting in July. Hazen says he will recommend $2,500 once again. So at least it looks like we're going to get some. It's going to have to go to the town board for approval. Hopefully there won't be any issues with it. If we give a couple of the board members a heads up about what we're doing, that might help when this comes in. But this I think, would really be in June that we would propose this. Unless, Laura, you see that being is not a good time.
Specifically for budget discussions, the manager is going to present his budget on Monday, and they're going to continue to have talks throughout the month. And then the budget is proposed to be approved, whatever budget that is, at the first meeting in June. So if you are going to attempt to request more funding than what Hazen is going to recommend, then you need to do that at your meeting on May 26th.
Roger that. Okay, we'll talk through that, and we'll see. Okay, that's good input. Okay, what else is going on? Elections are coming up for officer positions. We would normally do that in May, or begin the work in May, and then do the voting in June. So please be thinking about which positions you're interested in filling. Nominee forms this month, and perhaps we can do the election in June. If we decide to, for some reason, to delay it a month or two, I don't think the world will end, but it is sort of in violation of our bylaws, which say June. But we can work through that. So folks, be thinking about what positions you might want to fill. I've got some ideas and some folks, and we'll go on. We'll go on from there. The other thing is Doug Rhodes. Say again.
That was
Hello?
my squeaky chair. That was my squeaky chair.
Your squeaky chair. Okay, very good. And unfortunately, I didn't ask Doug Rhodes to join the meeting tonight. I didn't ask him to be invited. That was my fault. I think he'll be a good guy, and so we will vote on him in June for becoming a member. And perhaps there'll be others. There was one individual a few weeks ago sent me an email and wanted to know a little bit about what we do. And so I sent him some information, but we'll see if anything comes from that.
There's that other gentleman that's come the last two meetings that said he was interested. Did he not ever fill in an application? I thought he said he was going to.
Doug Rose is, I think that's Doug Rose.
No, because I thought who's the one that we just voted on that they just put on though? I thought there was somebody that the town had already approved.
Arlene, that's James Fuller.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
But anyhow, I think Doug would be a good person. Now, one other thing I think it's important. We need to be doing our business in our communications using the town email addresses. And because we're part of the town, we report to the town, and they have given us that device to use. Is anybody having any problems getting into it? With your password or?
I had one today. I tried to get into it. I have never used it before. I'd never checked the mail before because you were sending it to my personal email. But I had trouble getting in it, and I think Teresa said she was going to check on that and get back to me.
Okay. Is there anyone else who's having issues?
It just always comes up that everything goes into a spam on that account.
Right. Yeah. That drives me crazy.
I've heard to get it back out of the spam for some reason. Everything goes to spam.
You're right. Same here.
Same with me.
I see a lot of spam, and it's non-MVAC type things, and I just kill it. I mean, whatever.
No, everything you send me, Tom, goes to spam.
Yes, everything Tom sends me goes to spam.
You guys, this is Teresa. One of the things you can do if your town emails are going to spam, there should be an option to select that as not spam and add it to your safe senders list. So that may help. The other thing is I'm going to send an email out to the group with the contact list once the meeting is over to make sure we have updated information on everybody, and including email addresses and your phone numbers.
That's great.
Okay, and I have to go find, Teresa, is there a way to get information from me back about that? I had a phone crash today, and I've lost all of my emails in my phone. I'm having to reset up emails. So, I mean, I'm sure I have a paper somewhere where they told me the original stuff, but I don't know what the password and stuff was for that. Is there a way to get that information back from you?
Absolutely. So if I've got Charlene, I've got you and Jim need your information. Anybody else need information? Okay, I will send Jim and Charlene their information, and then again, send everyone the contact list. So please update your information, and we'll get that back out.
Okay, thank you.
Good. Now, is there anything else we need to be talking about?
Yeah, Tom.
So Tom getting. What do you got?
We were talking earlier
Larry,
about where the American Legion meets. I think I was muted at the time on my phone. They meet at the Masonic Lodge down there in downtown Matthews.
Okay.
We got that. Thank you. All right, Larry.
So Tom, are you saying that from now on, you're only going to send anything to our town email address?
No, I'll probably send it to both. Even though there are potential issues, but we really need to be using the town system.
You guys, this is Teresa. I would caution you against using your personal email addresses. And the reason is this is a public meeting open to the public. If there is a public information request, that your personal email address could get tied up in that as well. So I just caution against using personal email addresses.
Well, let's go for it and try it and see how it works.
Okay.
Well, you know what? I don't know if before, or I don't know if you want to do. I'm just thinking. See, I have my account also on Outlook, so I see when everything comes in. I have, 3 accounts on Outlook, and I see if there's one coming in. But if someone's not used to checking their town, so we all have to get in the habit at least once or twice a week, or maybe once a day to check your town email. That's the bottom line. And if you
that's what I do.
if you're having technical issues, you got to get those things settled. Because from what I'm hearing from both Teresa and Lori, they don't want us using our personal emails. I completely understand that. So we need to start using the town owned. Am I correct here?
Correct.
Okay.
Teresa,
Yes.
could you send us all then some simple directions, a review, reminder of how we can do that? We should do that?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
And everybody, this will go to your town email once we get Charlene and Jim's email working correctly. So just be checking the town email.
Okay.
Okay. Is there anything else we need to chat about?
Our next meeting, is it going to be virtual, Zoom, or is it? So since we meet so early in June, from what I understand, we still can't come to the town, right?
I'm not sure anyone really knows.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is Lori. So currently, no in-person meetings can be held. We don't have any specific information yet because we have to go through the governor's phases. But personally, I would say it's highly unlikely that your June meeting would be held in person.
Okay, so we'll do another one like this.
I think you should be prepared for that, yeah.
Okay.
And if we do that, make sure everybody has the correct number to get in on the meeting.
Yes, sir, we will.
Oh, this is too funny.
That having been said, that sounds like the May the 26th town meeting is going to be virtual also.
It is, yes.
Okay, all right.
And the only, looking ahead, the only other question I had is, were we still not going to meet in July? Not that any of us are going on vacation or anything, but do we still plan on?
I don't know. Let's see how things go in June.
Okay, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
And you know, one of the things is we may or may not get to an election, and we may want to do that in July. There's who knows right now. So I think for now, let's say we'll make that decision jointly in June, whether we meet in July or not.
Excuse me.
Any other questions?
Hey, Peter, what did they stick you in the basement or something? I see the hot water heater there.
My wife makes me stay in the garage. All I do is work on these bicycles. See all these things?
That's great.
All right. Okay. Y'all think about what positions you want to run for. We'll decide what we're going to do next month in terms of that. But I think we've got a lot to talk about and to do, and so we'll keep in touch over the next few weeks. And
do we have a wine director's position? Hey, Tom, do we have a wine director's position?
A wine director's position? You mean a sommelier? Yes, we can have a sommelier, and he will be the secretary. He or she could be the secretary of sommeliers.
I want to know, Charlene.
Do we get questions from? I noticed here, unless it's wrong, that Mr. Tavano is also an attendee. Does he?
Yes.
Does he not get a chance to speak, or do we ask him questions, or does not? We don't care about him.
He does have an opportunity.
Should we ask for his questions? There he is. Boy, what a handsome guy.
Okay, it is time for public comment.
Is
there any public comment?
Mark, are you with us? Oh, okay.
Mark had mentioned earlier to Teresa that he was going to call in separately if he wanted to make a comment. So if he chooses
Okay.
not to do so, you don't have to keep waiting.
Okay.
Okay. Do we have anybody waiting in the wings as a guest?
No one other than Mark.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else we need to talk about? All right. I'm glad we got together. It's been 2 months, and I just wanted us all to be able to talk about where we are, where we're going, and refocus so that we move on smartly over the next couple of months, and then getting ready for the new fiscal year. So I feel very comfortable that we got a lot done today.
Yeah.
And again, thanks to Lori and Teresa for setting this up. It's for those of us who are not used to this type of meeting. It takes some getting used to, but we did end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people. 8 of 10 people made it. And I see a note up here from Michael Bento, who was trying, but he couldn't get in. So I think we did well, and I'm proud of you all for getting in, and we'll move forward from here. Any other comment? All right, Lori, Teresa, thank you very much.
You're quite welcome.
Can we log off?
Do you want to take a motion to adjourn and take a vote? Or let me rephrase.
Yes,
You need to take a motion to adjourn.
All right, I'll take a motion to adjourn. Does anyone want to do the motion? Otherwise, we'll be here all night.
Motion.
So,
I second that motion.
okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Who does not want to adjourn, say nay. Clearly passes. We can adjourn.